long and hard about how to simplify the drawing of the lips. I've got to be honest, I'm not the best person to be doing lips, but it's definitely part of the face, so we need to include it. I will probably try and do ears at some point. Again, a really tricky one to do, but I'll think of some sort of simplified version to sort it out. Oh, hello. So hopefully this simplified version will help you a lot in trying to work out how the position of the lips goes in various pictures. And with the eyes and the nose tutorial as well, you can create a lovely face. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You can't draw lips like that. Nope. We're going to start again and do it properly. Okay, time to be sensible. Let's start from the beginning.
I want you to draw a little jelly bean and a little circle on top. This is going to help you form your Cupid's bow. Now you need a small crescent at the top and a small crescent at the bottom of your little circle. And then you need to put in your two corners of the mouth, as that's where it's going to help to guide you as to where your top lines are going to go for the top lip. So as you can see, I'm kind of making them a little bit bent at the top and a little bit bent at the bottom. This will obviously change depending on what kind of lips you want. And then the bottom one simply follows your little jelly bean. Now, as you can see, I just leave those two edge parts of the bottom one out, because if you look at someone's mouth, they don't have a lot of shading that kind of just almost just disappears into the rest of the face. So I would leave those two bits out unless they're wearing lipstick, in which case you would probably want to just sort of put that in. So here we go again. Obviously the little circle at the top can be changed so that it's bigger or it's smaller, or you can change the Cupid's bow bit so then it kind of cuts into that circle a little bit more, so change the shape of your crescents. And in this one I've gone with a slightly fatter, fuller lip. So I'm just going to shade it so you can kind of see what I'm talking about here. You can kind of see it's a little bit more plump on top and slightly more plump at the bottom as well. And I've added that little line just in the middle there so you can kind of see that they are just that little bit more plump. Next, we are going to explore a slightly open mouth. Only a little bit, don't get too excited. It is just a slight opening so you can just about see any teeth that might be in there. Here we go. I'm just going to do it over here. Now we need to still start off with our circle, and the jelly bean needs to be just that little bit lower this time so that then you've got a gap in between the two. Draw in your corners, because obviously there's always going to be corners unless the mouth is really open wide. So with the edge of your crescents, you're meeting the corners of the mouth. And obviously with the mouth open slightly, you're going to just get that slight sag on the top lip, as you can see that I've done there. And the bottom lip is pretty much as usual. So you don't really need to do a huge amount there. Just going to colour in the middle, put a couple of teeth in here just so you can have a look at what teeth would look like inside the mouth. I do apologise for my camera, it keeps zooming in and out and not quite focusing sometimes, but hopefully that will fix itself in the future. Okay, so that one is done, and now I want to show you how you would draw some lips that are slightly facing to the side. So we need our small circle, the jelly bean underneath, and then instead of your corner being in equal distance apart, you need one side a lot closer to your circles than the other side. And then you're going to do the same again. So you've got the Cupid's bow, the crescents on your little circle. I've been a bit lazy here and forgotten those bits. But then you're still meeting up with your corners and in a very similar way to how you've done it. Now, if you're looking at this, you can see that the short side has gone from the corner straight up almost to the Cupid's bow, and this side is a lot longer. Still leaving these gaps out so that then you can just do your shading in between to make it that much more 3D and facing the right direction. Let's do a much more fun one. So this one's going to be the biting of the lip. The small circle still applies at the top, and the jelly bean has slightly changed shape so that then it tucks underneath the teeth at one end and kind of just sits out a little bit at the other end. You'll see what I mean once I get a little bit further. Corners of the mouth still apply, and the semicircle on the top of the little circle and the semicircle at the bottom still applies, so your Cupid's bow is still going to be in exactly the same place. Basically, top lip exactly the same as it would be normally. Bottom lip, here is where the tricky bit comes in, because you need to position it so that then there's a little bit tucked into a tooth. So I'm gonna kind of just, well, I'm sketching it in with a really light pencil to begin with, so then I can go over with a slightly darker pencil and you can really get a better feel for it. So I'm going to swap for like a 2B. This one's a mechanical pencil. I quite like the mechanicals. They're a lot easier to control. And as you can see, I'm just going over what I've already done, but I'm meeting up from that semicircle into the corner of the mouth, and then here's where the little tooth is tugging at the lip, and then the lip then kind of sags down and then meets up with the corner of the mouth. Self-explanatory, really. And then you can kind of just draw in the teeth and do a little bit of shading, and it looks pretty cool. Give it a go. I'd love to know how you get on with this one. Do a bit of experimenting, change the shape, maybe put it under 2 teeth or no teeth even. Make it however you want those lips to look. Next, let's try a little bit of a pucker. So want to have a tiny little gap in between, so maybe like draw a little circle just to remind yourself where the gap is going to be, and then do your jelly bean, which now looks a little bit more like a kidney. And obviously your semicircles are still going to apply, and the corners of your mouth still going to apply, but the corners of the mouth need to be just that little bit closer in. I'm not sure that I've done them close enough for a full-on pucker, but let's go for just a relaxed mouth rather than a puckered mouth. So bring those corners in and you can make it more of a pucker. Shorten your jelly bean, keep the same sized small circle on the top, and you'll have more of a pucker than I have managed to achieve here. You know, I've just realised I probably should call it a pea. A pea and a kidney. Hey, it's not too bad. I just need to shade it a little bit and maybe get some wrinkles in there. But as this is just a quick sketch, I don't think this is half bad at all. Don't forget, if you are going to put those little lines in the lips, just remember that your bottom lip is almost tubular, so the lines are going to have to go round like they would on a tube. Up next, let's try a slightly different shape. Let's go for an upside down kidney bean. Let's see what this does. So applying the same rules as we usually do. So I've got the crescent underneath, the corners of the mouth, mustn't forget them, and then meeting the corners from your bottom crescent and from your top crescent. And then obviously going around your little kidney at the bottom there. So this is slightly more open mouth and quite a nice plump bottom lip. Now, when it comes to teeth, obviously remember they are set slightly further back, so they're going to need a little bit more shading. They're not just bright white under there, they will need a little bit of shading in too. But I can cover that a little bit more in more detail later on. And there you go. Hope you enjoyed my lip tutorial.
Yeah, see you later. Bye.